you are here. My name is Danny Dorsal. I have the privilege of being the president of the Governor School for Science and Mathematics. I'm also a graduate of the school many years ago, so it was before Accelerate and Team Up were in existence, but I did have the distinct privilege of coming back to Governor School in 2012 when the idea of Accelerate and then later Team Up came about. So I've been involved in some way or form with this program, which is just a tremendous program. And our mission as a school is to seek out and find the most talented and motivated students across the state, and through our educational opportunities, move them forward. And you guys are a wonderful example of talented and motivated students, and taking the opportunity presented to you and making the most of it and moving yourself forward. So we're here to celebrate all of your accomplishments. It could not have been done without many of the people that are here, and Mr. LaCrosse will recognize a number of them, but I want to thank everybody here, the faculty, the staff, our board members, the folks at the schools, and most of the parents for working with us as we spent the last 3 years with your students, and look forward to where they are going in the future. So again, I want to welcome you to our completion ceremony, and I will bring up Mr. Randy LaCrosse, our Senior Vice President for Virtual Outreach.
Thank you, President Dorsal. I joined President Dorsal this morning in welcoming you to our 7th annual Accelerate and Team Up completion celebration. Today is truly a celebration of a milestone in many students' lives, and we're so thankful for all of you who are here in person, and we're also able to stream this event live. And so for those who are joining us online, we also welcome you. Accelerate was created over 10 years ago to be one of GSSM's transforming educational programs in science, engineering, and mathematics. It has a goal that's been with us since the beginning to develop the next generation of leaders in engineering by providing them with very challenging courses while in high school. The majority of those courses being dual enrollment courses. A few years ago, over 3 years ago, a complementary engineering program was developed called Team Up, Teaching, Engaging, and Advancing Young Minds for Undergraduate Preparedness, with a goal to introduce high school students to various engineering disciplines and skills needed to be successful in undergraduate engineering programs, again by providing them with very high level and rigorous courses. And so this morning we have both groups represented, a group of Accelerate students and a group of Team Up students. Our keys for fulfilling our missions and goals for both programs, while remaining aligned with GSSM's mission, have keys to success. And those keys are staying focused on students and excellence, building mutually beneficial partnerships, collaborating with multiple individuals and groups, and developing public-private support. Accelerate and Team Up are programs that involve a lot of people. Many of the people you won't meet today who work behind the scenes to make events like this possible and the program possible. And we're very thankful for each one of them. I'd like to especially recognize some of the folks who are with us this morning who play a key role in making these learning opportunities available to our students. These are the builders. They're the creators. They're the innovators. They're the educators who make all of this possible. And I just have an honor of being able to lead the group over the last couple of years. So I want to take a few minutes to recognize them, and then we will certainly switch the program over to focusing on our students, because that's what today is all about, celebrating their success. During the formation of Accelerate, GSSM's leadership team made a decision to form an Accelerate Advisory Board, which later, under the leadership of Dr. Sims, became and is currently our Virtual Outreach Advisory Board. This group of individuals have served in tremendous ways since the start of Accelerate by providing us support and advice and encouragement along the way. Their names are mentioned, the OAB group, their names are mentioned in the program. And so if you would look at those and certainly give them a round of applause. But I'd like to recognize a couple of advisory board members who are here with us this morning. Dr. Ursula Sims is with us today. She serves on our advisory board. Dr. Sims is the executive director of the WEPAN organization. Before becoming executive director of the WEPAN organization, she served as GSSM's interim president. She served as GSSM's senior vice president for virtual outreach, VP of Accelerate, and then through her leadership, we were able to expand programs that we offer to students across the state. And as I mentioned to you, she played a key role in developing the Team Up program. So Dr. Sims, we say thank you to you. And welcome. We also have with us Dr. Lee Stodner. He's with the Vernacular Group. He's an electrical engineer. He leads a regional of directors, folks in electrical engineering. Lee has been on our GSSM Board of Trustees, and he's been on our board, BOAP board for many years. So he's with us. Lee, thank you. We also have from our board this morning, who will be our keynote speaker, Dr. Kevin Kinsey from GE. So Kevin, thank you for being here this morning. Accelerate would not be possible without key and critical school district partnerships. That's one of the things that makes Accelerate and Team Up such unique programs. We're able to partner with school districts across the state to deliver the program. And so we're very thankful for our school district partnerships. Those district partnerships are listed in your program. And as a part of those partnerships, we have counselors that are involved. We have facilitators on site, school district administrators that are part of the program, all working with us and working with the students to help them through the 3 years of both programs. And this morning we have with us Marty from South Point as one of our facilitators. So thank you for being here. I also must mention we have many college and university partnerships through our outreach programs and GSSM residential program, our residential programs, and our STEM Foundation program. But we were able several years ago to work with Coker University, it's a college here, or university here in Hartsville, for our dual enrollment credits. So I want to take an opportunity to say thank you to them. Dr. Susan Henderson, our provost and dean of faculty, and Dr. Katie Flaherty, who have been key roles in our dual credit courses through Coker University. A number of the leadership team, GSSM leadership team, are here this morning. We thank you for your support and encouragement. Dr. Michael Newsom, VP of Academics, is here. And then in the back, and where he usually is and provides a tremendous amount of support in a variety of ways, is John Shannon. I really appreciate his support. We are live streaming this event, and John's played a key role in making that happen. So John, Michael, thank you. I also now, and really most importantly, we talk about these things that happen. There's a key group, and I want to stop for just a minute and give them special recognition and actually ask them to stand for those that are here. but it's our accelerated team of faculty who are committed to the success of our students. They're faculty who are very knowledgeable of their content areas, faculty who work extremely hard to provide a challenging experience for our students, and really to do what we set out to do. And as I tell people, Governor's School, residential, or STEM foundations, accelerated team up, it's like starting college a couple of years early. And that would not be possible without an outstanding and phenomenal set of instructors. So I'd like all of our instructors to stand, accelerate, and team up. Their names are listed. For those who are with us this morning, those online, would you stand so we can recognize you? Key to our mission are families, and we couldn't do any of this without the support of families, without families trusting us with your children, your students, and so we want to give you, the many of you there's still some online, some here are in person, which is really, really exciting after a couple of very difficult years with COVID, so we want to celebrate you and give you a round of applause. And then most importantly, and I'll end with this, we recognize our seniors. They're the reason we have assembled today and what this celebration is all about. They're the ones who spent late nights and late hours studying for tests, completing homework, working on projects, while doing other activities at their home high schools. They're the reason our Accelerate team does what it does. We're proud of their accomplishments. We're thankful for that 3 years ago you accepted our invitation to start your Accelerate and Team Up journey. During this journey, we've been able to watch you mature and grow. We believe your journey with us has prepared you very well for the next stage of your life. And so now we recognize you and we celebrate you. And you'll get several rounds of applause, but I'd like everybody to give them a round of applause. Finally, I knew I would do this. There's so many staff. There's an Accelerate team that has labored to put this event on and do so many things behind the scenes. Many of them are here today. So as we have the time of fellowship during the reception, please, their names are also listed in our program. Please give them a round of applause. So at this time, I'm going to turn the program over to Dr. Zaria O'Brien, the Director of Virtual Programs, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Now, I have the distinct privilege of introducing our keynote speaker, Dr. Kevin Kinsey. Dr. Kinsey is the Technical Development Leader for the GE Renewables Onshore Wind Engineering Division. In this role, he is responsible for leading technical career growth and development opportunities for over 1,400 global wind energy engineers. Dr. Kinsey has served at GE for over 20 years in various roles that have included designing aircraft engine exhaust nozzles for both military and commercial aircraft, managing GE's wind blade aerodynamics and acoustics team, and serving as the Chief Engineer Leader for the Onshore Wind Engineering Division. In addition to his time at GE, Dr. Kinsey also worked as Director of the NASA Langley Jet Noise Lab, which makes him a real-life rocket scientist. Dr. Kinsey lives in Greenville, South Carolina with his wife and is the father of 3 adult sons, one of whom was a graduate of the South Carolina Governor's School for Arts and Humanities. Please welcome to the podium, Dr. Kevin Kinsey.
a big deal. It's the end of one chapter in your life, at the beginning of a lot more. But what you have accomplished is a big deal. Just getting through high school is a big deal. Getting through high school in the last couple of years of what everybody has had to live through COVID has been a big deal. The remote learning piece with the government school has been a big deal. You all probably may have been a little bit more prepared, I don't know, for the remote learning that happened with COVID. But that's a big deal. And then just all of the STEM work that you did, the science, technology, engineering, and math work. I mean, that is hard. It is hard stuff. So it's a big deal. So I hope you should feel really good about that. You know, take some time to celebrate that with your families and with your high school graduations when they happen. I've launched 3 boys, my wife and I, out of our home not that long ago, really, from where you all are. And every one of them is different, everyone's exciting. It's a big celebration of family time, so I'm just excited for you all to be able to go through this. Dr. Mark mentioned the oldest one went to the Governor's School for Arts and Humanities in Greenville, went on to get a music degree at South Carolina, works in sound and audio engineering, and also works at a civil engineering firm in Virginia. The middle one, I got a computer science degree from Clemson. He's getting married in 2 weeks, so we're really excited about that. We have 3 boys in our household, and we're finally getting a daughter. I could not be more excited about that. And then my youngest one is a graduate student at Clemson in electrical engineering. The mentioned oldest one at Governor's School in Virginia, or Greenville. The 2 younger ones at Burns, graduate at Burns, so we lived in Spartanburg for a number of years. And I was really proud of them, just as your parents are really, really proud of you all. Okay, and I'm just excited as you look forward towards these STEM degrees and careers, because this really is the beginning of an exciting journey for you. I got an email from a young man not that long ago. He was finishing up, or a couple years away from finishing his engineering degree, and he was having some concerns because he said, you know, I'm a little bit concerned because I'm worried that I'm going to wind up behind the desk, pushing pencils and doing calculations and drinking cheap coffee, and that's not really sure that that's what I want to do. And I was really glad to tell you don't have to worry about that, because at the end of the year, you're going to get to do some cool things. I wanted to tell you just a little about some of the cool things I've gotten to do for this year will be different, but you're going to look forward to them. I mean, I've gotten to see the space shuttle parts in the vehicle assembly building and work on the launch pad accessories. That was really cool, standing next to this, and we were right here. I think this is in outer space. I mean, that's just really cool when you think about it. You can actually send stuff to outer space and bring it back. When I was working for GE Aircraft Engines in Cincinnati, I worked on an F-110 military engine. That's the engine that powers the F-14 Tomcat. So Top Gun, that's the aircraft that's in there. And stand next to that thing while it was in full afterburner, with all the flames coming out, you just feel it in your whole body. And that was really, really cool in the Mojave Desert. I've gotten to stand on top of a wind turbine, so 80 meters high, that's 100 feet, in Holland, overlooking tulip fields. This big, huge rotor that's the size of a football field. And just stand and look, and it's just crazy to think, like, I work in Greenville, South Carolina, and here I am sitting here looking at this. The other thing that I really got to do, this was something I wouldn't have thought of. I was in India. RRG has an engineering center in India, and I got to go visit some engineers. And when I was there, I got to take some of my GE colleagues to go visit an orphanage that my family was supporting. We're in Greenville, we support an orphanage in Bangalore. I get to go visit some friends because of that. So again, my point isn't to talk about all the cool things that I've gotten to do, but to point you all to the cool things you're going to get to do. Okay, and your career is going to be different, and you're going to do different cool things. But it's exciting, and it's the beginning of a journey. It's a long journey. It'll be a difficult journey, maybe somewhat dangerous at times, but it's going to be exciting and rewarding. And one of my favorite stories is the Lord of the Rings. Right, Lord of the Rings, famous something like that. And in there, there's a lot of journeys that happen in there, different characters and all. And one of the things right before the Fellowship of the Ring kind of breaks up to go off, and they're going to not see each other again, and certain things are going to happen. Lady Galadriel gives each of them a special gift to kind of help them through their journey. And I thought, okay, well, what am I going to say? What can I say when Mr. Cross asked me to help out? And speak, what would be the gifts that I could give you? Okay, and I thought of 3 things to give you. The first one is resilience for when you fail, perseverance for when times are hard, and influence for when you have to work with other people. You're going to have to work with them. Resilience when you fail, perseverance for when times are hard, and influence for when you have to work with people. You know, resilience is, it's used in a lot of terms, but in engineering, I mean, it's the ability to bounce back when something breaks and elasticity and all. But resilience is the ability to bounce back after something bad happens. And you all may have already experienced certain things bad that haven't, failures. But here's the thing: if you haven't yet, you will. Okay, because you will not succeed in everything that you do. Okay, you just won't. You won't succeed in everything. And if you are succeeding in everything that you do, you might not be trying stuff. You might not be trying stuff that's hard enough. Because you can do big things, but you won't know how big until you try. And some of them you're going to fail. And the question is, what happens when you fail? How do you bounce back? Does it become an obstacle and you just shut down? You know, does it make you fearful and you don't try things again and you draw back? Or do you adjust and you learn? You know, one of the things I think about, one of the earliest kind of big failures I think about in my career was when I was a PhD student at Penn State, and there's a candidacy, you have to take what's called a candidacy exam. And it's an exam you have to take basically on everything you learned as an undergraduate. So you spend your first year as a PhD student taking courses and things and then studying for months for this exam. And I failed it the first time. I'm like, okay, now what? You know, I mean, should I just take a master's degree and move on, or do I pick up again and study for, another 3 months? Because they only offer them once a year, maybe twice a year. And that was a hard thing. And there was some resilience there that I learned. And of course, that's not the only time I've ever failed. There have been other projects that haven't worked out, jobs and different things. But resilience, being resilient and bouncing back from failure, because it will make you not be afraid to fail, and will help you. Perseverance. So perseverance, because things are not always going to be easy. You all have already experienced that. You all already have to persevere through a lot. Okay, and things are not going to be easy. College is not going to be easy. Life is just not easy. There's a lot of things, but you know what? You can do hard things. Okay, just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it. And you can do hard things if you keep trying. And good and worthwhile things, they just take time. In our society with networking and computers and just a lot of things, we've kind of gotten used to things happening quickly. You know, if something doesn't happen fast, we need to go on to the next thing sometimes, especially if it's kind of hard. But you're going to need perseverance. You're going to need perseverance to get through your courses. You're going to need perseverance to get through life challenges. So just don't give up too soon. Some things take a long time. Life takes a long time. But persevere. And then influence. Okay, influence. You're going to need help from others to do things that you can't do on your own. You've already seen that already. You know, there's going to be people who are not always going to agree with you. Maybe people that don't like you. You know, so I mean, learning how to disagree with a smile and influence people, even who are disagreeing with you, is important. And enlisting help from others is important. So, you know, just realizing that there might be more than one right way to do things. And maybe your way isn't the only right way. So, you know, view everyone as a friend, view everyone as an ally. People want to work with folks that trust them and like them. And in that way, you'll be able to influence. And so these things, resilience, perseverance, and influence, these are sort of things that you are, okay? They're characteristics, but how do you do them? How do you actually do these things? And I think you'll develop in all of them if you do focus just on doing one thing. And this one thing is something I heard actually not that long ago, probably in the last 5 or 2 years. It's not something I've heard my whole career, but it made such sense to me that I think about it a lot now as I look at my life and my career. And it's actually something that was said by Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Okay, so not an engineer, but he knew something about resilience and perseverance and influence. And what he said, I think, just makes such sense as engineers. I think you all appreciate this. But what Dr. King encouraged instead was for people to be a thermostat, not just a thermometer. Okay, think about that. Be a thermostat and not just a thermometer. And the difference here is that the thermometer reads the temperature of the environment and it tells you what it is. It's it's hot, it's cold, it's getting hotter, it's getting colder, and that's all it does. It just sort of reports the news. But a thermostat will do the exact same thing. It knows whether it's hot or cold and what's happening, but then it actually does something about it. It does something to change the environment. And you all have the ability to change the environment wherever you are. And I really, I love this analogy because, again, as an engineer, you work with circuit design or control theory or feedback loop, it just makes a lot of sense. How many of y'all program with like Arduino or microprocessing or anything? Yeah. So you know a little bit about that. You know, my electrical engineering son, we have these conversations about different things, and we talk about love and relationships in terms of signal processing, right? So different talk, and you can laugh at us if you hear the whole thing, but engineers can be really precise about things. And that's why I just think this is great, because what does a thermostat do, right? It's got a sensor to see what's happening around it. It's got a processing algorithm to think about, okay, what am I going to do? It's got the ability to send control commands to do something. And then there's another feedback loop to see, well, how does that work? And it goes through it all again. And you can do this wherever you are. You can sense things. You can think about what should I do, and then you can do something, and then you can watch and see what happens. And if you will live your life as a thermostat, as a thermometer, you will grow in resilience and perseverance and influence. You know, as you go through college and your job and your life, you're gonna have a chance to be someone that is just a thermometer that reports what happens, or a thermostat that actually changes the environment around you. I mean, think about this, like when you see this, when people are complaining, right, and you get a group of people and you start to hear it, you sense that people are complaining, and now you got a choice, right? What are you going to do? You can join in, you can just stay quiet, you can actually say some positive words. I mean, all of those things are going to influence the environment. And look, words have the power to change the environment around you. They really do. I mean, you will influence yourself and you'll influence others. And your words that you use are going to be one of your best friends to help you persevere. Because negative talk will just kill momentum. Positive talk is going to make you resilient and give you energy and life and those around you. And so that's one way that you can be a thermostat. But when you look around and you know something that needs to be done, and you recognize that no one's doing whatever needs to be done, whether this is a project, I don't do group projects where no one else is doing anything. We have those conversations with our boys off in school. You'll still find yourself in those projects at college, or at work, you know, or at your house. You know, you look around and something needs to be done and no one else is doing it. Well, you sense the need to do something. You know, I mean, your processor knows what to do. You've got the ability to do something. So try it in just small things and watch what happens. You know, try this at home and see if you change the environment at your home this summer. But here's the thing, you might fail. Okay, you might try something and it doesn't turn out the way you want, or it might backfire. And then you're going to need resilience. Or it might be hard, and you're going to need to keep persevering. Thermostat can't always change the temperature, the environment in an instant. It sometimes takes time. And you might need to influence others along the way as you go to help participate with you. Because look, you're at the beginning of this journey. It's exciting. It's long. It's going to be difficult at times. Sometimes dangerous at times. But it's going to be very rewarding and exciting and very worthwhile. So I'm just so excited for you all. And I just offer these gifts to you. Resilience, perseverance, and influence. And if you'll carry those things with you at all times and be a thermostat and not a thermometer, you're going to have a great journey. So congratulations.
At this time, I would like to call to the stage Dr. Bess Beasley, Dr. James Dawson, Mr. Andrew Cross, Mr. Danny Dorsal, Dr. Kevin. If you could meet me up front, please. If you stand right here. Okay, the accelerated class 2022, please stand. If you would, follow. Okay. And then we will award these certificates. Thank you. Admiral Adams. Nathan Baird. Safik Godawudi. Adam Clements. Andy Collins. David Corey. Will Dalton. Caleb Faison. Sam Giraldo. Hannah Guyton. Stephen Harmon. Tanner Harmon. Jaden Kira. David Minot. Mackenzie Jones. Ria Kapoor. Kaya Kidwai. Jacob Lynn. Christian Long. Gavin McSwain. Case Morton Will. Stephen Sarter. Leland Swanson.
In 2018, under the leadership of Dr. Ursula Sims, a sister engineering program was created for the purpose of teaching, engaging, and advancing minds for undergraduate preparation, otherwise known as Team Up. The goal of the Team Up program has been to introduce high school students to a variety of engineering fields while providing instruction in foundational skills needed for success in an undergraduate engineering program. Today, we are proud to celebrate our inaugural class of Team Up program completers. Please join me in honoring the Team Up class of 2022.
Derek Brown. Jada Dozier. Michael Espinosa. Noah Junkins. Juna Lee. Trey Lewis. Kirsten Price. Jean-Luc Robitaille. Alessandro Russo. Derek Smith.
Thank you. Now we will present the awards for excellence in a particular area. I would like to call forward to the stage Mr. Taylor Belcher.
Hello, everybody. You might be wondering why I have a can of beans. We'll get to that. So, I feel very privileged to work in this program, and Randy asked me to keep this short, so I'm going to try to keep it short, except for the bean part. So, some of the students that you could accelerate are masochists, and they wanted to do extra math. So we did math over the summer, and then we did an extra math class during the year. And honestly, I can't believe that they ever want to do any more math ever again, because they did a lot of math. And one student in particular just was at every single thing that I offered. He showed up to real analysis. He did stuff over the summer. He continued to do stuff that we did in the summer over the year, and that was Case Morton Little. So I have an Excellence in Mathematics award for Case, based on up here. I do promise that I'll keep this short. However, in class one time, I was telling the students about how the Pythagoreans didn't like beans. And so we were joking that maybe if you wanted to keep the Pythagoreans away, you might keep some beans on you, just in case. And as usually happens when we made a joke in class, I get a message from Adam Clements. And Adam has made a puzzle box in AutoCAD that you have to solve with the Pythagorean theorem. And then when you open it up, there's beans inside. So you can keep beans on you just in case, right? And the video cracked me up because he's showing you the puzzle box. It was beautifully made. Right? And then he just leans into his mic and he goes, and that's where the beans go. So, Adam, I have a can of beans for you.
Dr. Randy Gibson, please come forward.
So I have the privilege of giving the Excellence in Engineering Award, and all of our classes are special, but you guys are a little bit more special because 3 years ago in the fall, when you were beginning your journey as part of Accelerate, I was beginning my journey as a faculty member as part of Accelerate as well. So, you guys have grown and developed, and my hope is that I have done the same over the last 3 years, so that as you talk to the other students who come after you, they'll say, yeah, it's better than it was. Anyway, with that said, I worked with the other engineering instructors, and we had a very difficult task, and that was to identify the recipient of this award. And in the process, we kind of identified, being engineers, 4 criteria. Some are going to sound familiar with Dr. Kinsey. First of all, academic rigor, as far as the performance, I should say. That goes without saying. Secondly, your problem-solving skills. And once again, that's part of being an engineer. Looking at mathematical science principles and applying them in a way to solve problems. We also look at teamwork. You very seldom, if ever, are going to be the single engineer on a project. You're going to be working with interdisciplinary teams. You've got to get along. You've got to work together. Even when some people aren't necessarily easily the kind of person you want to work with. And so we've got that. And then finally, perseverance. Academic environments are great because generally we give you problems that have like a nice, clear-cut single solution. As you guys have gone through the process and got to your senior project, you realize that that's not always the case. Sometimes there are multiple solutions, and you've got to go through and look at the constraints, criteria, and so forth, and determine, okay, which is actually the best based on that. And then sometimes there's not even a clear-cut solution. Sometimes you have to do extra work just to develop processes, products, or whatever that make you move forward toward solving and getting that ultimate solution. So we had a difficult task. We looked at those criteria, and the Excellent Engineering Award goes to Gavin Mixler.
Randy started with a flashback. I was, as one does at my old age, stalking people on Facebook this morning, and I saw that 2 former Accelerate graduates got engaged today. All right? So I want anyway, going out. I'm giving the English award not just on my own behalf, but on behalf also of Dr. Catherine Yone. So the student receiving this award has always taken the time and effort to do all of the reading. I mean, all of the reading, which we know is a lot. She comes in clutch, probably out of pity, when other people aren't speaking up. She pushes herself to tackle challenging ideas in her writing, attends to feedback on her writing with an eagle's eye, and shows the same kind of care when evaluating others' writing. And to her credit, is probably one of the only ones who consistently uses a comma correctly. So, the award goes to you.
Dr. Jennifer Crawford, please come forward for the Science Award.
I'm here on behalf of myself, Dr. Carnevale, and Mrs. Washington to present the Excellence in Science Award. As every year when we're dealing with exceptional students such as these, it's very difficult to choose, and no student would be sitting here today if they had not stood out among their peers as being excellent in science. So as we were choosing, we thought about certain things that are important for scientists, and one of those, besides achievement and participation at the highest level through both years in chemistry and physics, to me, was this student's ability to ask thoughtful and inquisitive questions. I think that that is one of the most important things that a scientist can do. And on a selfish note, many of the things that I changed about the way that I taught my course this year were a direct result of the questions and things that this student asked me, because it gave me a lot of insight into the way my students think through the things that we're covering. So we are pleased to present the Award for Excellence in Science to Ms. Haya Kidwa.
If you would come forward to present the Excellence in Teamwork Award.
Hi to all. My name is Dr. Carmelali, and I teach the senior level physics course in both the Accelerate and the Team Up programs. And so today it is my pleasure to give this award for excellence in Team Up. And this award goes to a student who has shown talent and dedication in this program. I've had this student in my physics course for 2 semesters, and I can tell you with confidence that whatever he chooses to do, whatever endeavor he chooses to pursue, he'll not only succeed but excel. So as he proceeds on in his studies and then his future career, I'm sure you'll hear his name again. And his name is Alessandro Russo. An audience like this is different. So thanks for your support. So let me tell you about this young man. His performance in the physics course has been just simply extraordinary. I can say that. He's been 100% attentive and interested every single day, and he could grasp difficult new concepts with ease. But Alessandro went beyond that. Just being a talented student, he was able to immediately connect any new material to something that we studied earlier, sometimes even much earlier. So he really had a grasp of the whole process as a whole as we went through the course, which is really outstanding. And at times, the connections he made between the math and the physics, he could make that connection, and sometimes these were connections that escaped me. I never thought of, in spite of my 32 years of physics teaching. And also, you know, if I ever messed up, as occasionally happened, and said something wrong, then Alessandro was there to let me know and let me out.
Don't worry, he did that to me too.
But that was very well, so I really appreciated it. And so every single class he had questions, which was also unusual. Every single class he had a number of questions, and at times these were probing questions that I hadn't considered before, as I said, in spite of my many years of teaching. So he made me rethink many, of the things that I thought I knew already, and he made me think about them. He made me work harder, and for all that, he made me a better teacher. So thank you, Alessandro.
Let's give all of our
Well, again, I would like, we've done this numerous times, but before I give you some little housekeeping things and we start our reception, let's once again congratulate these students. Thank you. There's a saying that we use, it's cliche, but I believe it in my heart. We do what we do for students. And we're so proud of you today and what you have accomplished. A couple of housekeeping things. We will have a reception that will last until about 1 o'clock. There are restrooms in the back of the venue. We're going to open the doors in the back. There's an area where all the food is. We'll open the doors to the lake. You can go outside. You can stay in here. We do have a photographer who is going to be available. Families, if you want a picture taken, she'll be out on the deck. Hopefully, it's not going to be any rain, but she'll be out there to take your picture. And then seniors, before you scatter and get all the hugs and congratulations that you deserve, one of our traditions is to take a group picture. So we're going to ask you to come up here in just a minute to take the group picture. We'll do our Accelerate completing class first, and then we'll do our Team Up completing class. And then as you go, up under your seats, this is another one of our traditions. Please take with you a gift that we have done that represents the journey that you're about to start. So thank you for coming, and enjoy your time. So seniors, if you'll come forward, we're going to do Accelerate first, and then we'll do Team Up.